Well, hello and welcome to ADMG 474, Executing Project Management. This is week 1, and in this quick video, I'm going to go over what your expectations are for the week in terms of assignments. The reading, lecture type reading video is in a separate video, so I want to make sure that you understand there are different videos. One will cover the reading and then the other will cover your activities or assignments for the week. So welcome to the class. I'm really glad you've decided to join us. This class is the first of 2 in a series, 474, 475, and these 2 classes along with 3 other core ITAM classes make up the project management minor. So I'm really glad that you're here, and I'm really glad that you're willing to explore project management as an opportunity for professional growth and professional development. So welcome to our class. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over our discussions, how we manage discussions in the class, and this week's discussion question. I'm going to talk a tiny bit about the project, but I'm going to have you do a lot of reading on the project that you're going to be working through over the next 2 courses, 474 and 475. You start in 474, you finish it all up in 475. And then we're going to go over this week's assignment. So let's talk about our discussion question guidelines. Discussions are a big part of this class and the 475 class, so I want to kind of go over how we work through them. So in 474, you're going to be placed in a discussion group that's going to be anywhere from 4 to 7 students in a small group. Now, one of the reasons I like to do small groups is so that you can have a more intimate discussion, a better conversation. That way you don't have to muddle through the noise of 20 to 25 students in the class to find something that you want to respond to. So you can have a better conversation and a deeper and richer conversation. I like to mix up the groups. In 474, I mix up the groups. Now in 475, we don't, but in 474, at week 6, I change the groups. So don't work ahead past week 5 in the discussions in your initial posts, because that's going to be important. You're going to post 3 times a week. Your first one is your initial response to the discussion question or questions, whatever it happens to be. And then the second 2 posts are responses to your peer mates or your classmates. Your initial response is worth 50% of the points, and the 2 peer responses are worth 25% each, and they are graded independently. There is a rubric that will help you understand the grading and how I will be grading your discussions. You need to post on 2 separate days of the week. Now, here's my philosophy on discussion questions. If you view the discussion questions, discussion participation as a task that needs to be done, you are going to hate this. You're just not going to enjoy it. You're going to want to come in on Sunday, do all your posts, and then get out, because it's a task and you just want to get the task done. But it's called a discussion, and in order to have a discussion, you need to have conversation that goes in both directions. You need to post something, you need to read what other people have posted, you need to respond back, you need to engage in a discussion. So if you view the discussions as an opportunity to share your experiences and to learn from other experiences, to learn from other material that's shared, to learn from your more capable peers, to share with your peers, then you will love the discussions, because then you get the opportunity to post and then go in and then read and have conversations. Wow, I didn't think about it that way. You know, I've been stuck in this method of thinking, that kind of thing. So it depends on how you view discussions. If they're a task, you're going to really not like this. So I will apologize up front, but this is, I view a discussion as just that. You know, it's a conversation. So your initial post needs to be at minimum 150 words, and it needs to have at least 1 reference. Now that reference can be the textbook. It needs to be properly formatted using APA guidelines, which include the in-text citation and the reference. Okay, so don't just include the reference, you need to include the in-text as well. Now for your initial response to be exceptional, for your initial response to be exceptional, meaning that you earn all points, you need to have a minimum of 250 words and 2 references, one of which, of course, can be the text. So please be sure that you've got that. Your peer responses need to be at least 100 words, and in order to be considered exceptional, earning all credit, you need to be sure that you have at least 1 reference that's properly APA formatted. Now, here's my take on things like good job or I agree. It is perfectly fine to give credit to somebody and say, wow, that was a great post. It's perfectly okay to do that. But what's not okay is to say great post and then just simply restate what they've already said. That is not original. That is not adding any value to the conversation. That's basically just saying, hey, great post, and I understand what you said because I'm restating what you said. That's not going to fly. That is not going to count. That's not even going to count as a peer response. I'm going to end up, not giving credit for that. So your peer responses need to add something more to the conversation. And the best way you can do that is through additional research. Go to the text, grab something from the text, or you can disagree. You can do a variety of different things that add something more to the conversation. Okay, so please be sure you're up on those discussion guidelines. So for this week's discussion, you are going to work with the whole class, not just your small discussion group, but this week, week 1, you're having your discussion with the entire class, just so you know, all right? And one of the reasons that I do this one is because professional project managers, you will need to know where to get information, where to go, where to find help, where to learn, where to find information about a particular topic. And one of the best ways to do that is to research and find out what resources are out there on the internet. And that's exactly what this task this week is for you to do. You're going to go out and you're going to review some of the information that's out there and out there and available. Now, most of our discussion questions in 474, not all, but most, are going to be discussion questions that have you going out and reporting on a current article on a particular topic, and you're going to review that article. You're going to say whether you agree or disagree, that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's mostly what you're going to be doing. Well, in order to do that kind of research, you need to know what resources are available. So that's what this week is all about. It's about researching the resources that are available to the project manager. In some cases, you're going to want to sign up. Most of these things are going to be free. Some of them you're going to need to sign up to gain access to. You know how that goes. And I have listed a number of professional sites that I like, but feel free to look for other things as well. So most of the resources will send you emails that'll have links to articles. Some of them may include white papers. All of the websites, you can search for articles on information. I encourage you to sign up for more than one. Find out what those options are that are available to you, because they're going to become very important as you go through preparing your discussions for this week. Now, on the next slide, I'm going to have a list of my favorite resources. So for this week's discussion, I'm going to ask you to pick at least 3 resources that you're going to investigate. And then you're going to decide which ones that you're, well, I suggest you pick a bunch of them to investigate, and then you're going to decide at least 3 of them that you're going to either follow or you're going to add to your toolbox. Okay, so for this week's discussion, you're going to post, this is what you're going to write. You're going to identify the resources that you chose to investigate. You're going to tell us which ones you're going to follow on a regular basis and why you chose those sites to follow regularly. Identify the resource by name, include the URL, and give us a brief background about the type of information that you found there. Describe what led you to choose this resource, and then finally pick one that you felt was interesting or intriguing. Something about the home page that you want to share with the class. So that's what you're going to be posting. You may end up researching and reviewing 10 websites before you come up with the few that you're going to follow. Okay, so for your initial post, it's due on Thursday. You're going to choose two peers that you want to respond to no later than Sunday. Now, for this week only, your peer responses can be great job or thanks for sharing this week only. Okay, and you can comment on them. Wow, I didn't see that one. I love that. I'm going to follow that one as well. I mean, for this week only, you can say great job, because this is a little bit tricky to, follow the guidelines because we're really sharing resources. Okay, now, in the discussion post itself, you'll find my list of the ones that I like. I encourage you to find other ones as well. All right, let's talk about your project that's going to carry you through 474 and 475. We're going to be working on a project called the Black Tie Gala. Now, you can find all of the project background information, a full review of the project background information, the team member bios, and the project templates are located in a module called Course Project Black Tie Gala. You need to go out and review all of the information that is in those 3 pages. In a nutshell, the Black Tie Gala is an annual fundraising event for a nonprofit medical research organization. Now, let me assure you, this is a top-notch, first-rate event. It is. We have thousands of people attending, and we are expecting to raise millions of dollars. We've got a budget of about $300,000 to pull this event off. So you want to pay special attention to all of those details that are listed in the introductory information under project background. Okay, so please take time to go out and understand this event. So let's talk about what this week's assignment is. Now, every week you are going to see something in the assignment called Project Update. Now, the project update may be full of important information that you need to incorporate into the assignment, or it might just be some basic background kind of stuff. So this week, your project update, since we're just getting started, is the following. As you might expect, discussions regarding the Black Tie Gala are starting to make a prominent place in executive board meetings. Pat is your boss. Pat has assigned you to be the project manager for this year's event, but now you've never planned an event such as this. You have always been an IT project manager. You've never done this kind of event before, so you're a little bit nervous about it. After all, you are fairly new to the organization and your background is IT project management. Luckily, you have a lot of time and you have some expert assistance available to you. Now, this is an event that occurs every year, although every year it is a little bit different and it has different components. So, Pat's been around a long time. She's done this a few times, and now it's your turn to be the project manager for this. Now, so that's your project update information. Now, this is what your assignment is for the week. Your assignment, go to the end of chapter 2, and on page 46, you are going to complete all 4 exercises that are listed. You're going to use the project selection and prioritization template that's in the course project module templates. Now back here you see project templates. That's where you're going to go. You're going to go to course project Black Tie Gala and then check the page that says project templates. That's where you're going to find all of this information. All right, so you're going to open up this template. It's a Microsoft Excel document, and you're going to fill in some information. And I actually have a video that shows you exactly how to use the templates. So I encourage you to watch the video. It's a short 6-minute video and it'll get you right through it. All right, so then you are going to submit both a Microsoft Word document, because 2 of the 4 questions will require you to respond via words, and then the other one is the Microsoft Excel. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm asking you to submit the Microsoft Word document that answers all 4 questions, and then using the snipping tool to copy and paste the chart that you create in Excel into the Word document. So you're just going to have one professionally looking document, Microsoft Word, that answers all 4 questions, and then you're just going to copy and paste data from Excel into the Word document. So now let's look at the scoring model. Now what this activity is really all about is it's learning how to score projects based on criteria and a weighted scale so that you can decide what projects the organization will undertake. Now, this is the exercise right straight out of the textbook. So if you don't have the textbook, you can come back here, pause this, and this is the data that you're going to need, and this will get you through it. Like I say, if you don't have the textbook, this slide right here will get you through the assignment. You're just going to have to pause it and then go over to the actual work in Excel and get it done. So the first thing you're going to notice is that you've got criteria across the top rows, and down column A you have project A, B, C, and D. Now normally, and it wouldn't say criteria 1, 2, or 3, and it wouldn't say project A, B, or C. You would have criteria identified and projects identified by name. But for the purposes of our assignment, we're keeping this very generic. All right. Now you're going to complete both of these weighted score models, and you're going to then choose which one you would do first, second, third, and last, and then you're going to discuss how confident you are in your choices, and then if you lack any confidence, what would you do? What would you prefer to do about it if you were not completely confident with the choices that you had? Okay, so this is what the Excel template looks like. Also, I want to point out also that in the reading module that the reading video that I had, I talked about there is a great deal of information in the textbook on project selection. So you read all of that information thoroughly, and then this is all going to make a whole lot more sense. Okay, so on the left is what the criteria looks like, the Excel criteria looks like, and then on the right is the first one filled in. So you'll notice that across the top in the columns, criteria 1, 2, and 3, the weight for criteria 1 is 10, the weight for criteria 2 is 6, and the weight for criteria 3 is 4. Then you've got the values that were assigned project A. For criteria 1 was a 4, project A criteria 2 was a 3, project A criteria 3 was given a score of 5. Notice that it will multiply 4 and 10 and come up with 40, 3 and 6 and come up with 18, 4 and 5 come up with 20, and then add all of those for the total score for project A, the total score for project B, C, and D. Not terribly hard, and again, that video that I have will walk you through that as well. Okay, and don't forget that you do have to answer question 3 and question 4. Let's take a quick look at those, because a lot of times people miss this one. I am not asking you to do a weighted scoring model on 3 and 4. What you're asked to do on 3 and 4 is to develop criteria. Okay, not complete the weighted score. 1 and 2, you do the Excel worksheet. 3 and 4 is different. Those two are different. So, for example, question number 3: pretend you're on the leadership team for the pharmaceutical company that is in a difficult financial situation because they have some patents on some of their drugs, their leading drugs that have expired. So what you want to do is brainstorm a list of criteria that you would use to select and prioritize projects for the organization, and then you're going to weight the criteria. Again, this is just what would the criteria be, and then how would you weight it. And you're not completing the scoring you're not completing the scoring model. You're just giving me a list of criteria. And I would recommend at least 3 criteria. 4 or 5 is probably better. And you're going to do the exact same thing for number 4. Pretend you're on the leadership team of a manufacturing company that is currently challenged by low-cost competition. Again, different type of organization, different domain and a different problem. Brainstorm a list of criteria by which you would select and prioritize projects. So, 2 different organizations, 2 different types of problems that they're encountering, and how would they select projects? What would be the criteria that they would use to select projects? Okay, so I hope that helps. And then don't forget that your initial response and your discussion is due on Thursday, and your peer responses are due no later than Sunday. You have a quiz that's due on Sunday. I do have rubrics for all of your assignments. Please be sure that you take a look at those rubrics, because that's how I'm going to be grading your work. If I grade them based on the rubrics, you should be preparing your work based on the rubrics and know the difference between average and exceptional. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Let me know how I can help. You can email me, you can Skype me, and also let me know what I can do to help make the class better. Have a great first week, and I look forward to working with you in the weeks to come.